Welcome to my second episode of Creatively Ill, and today I have somebody I affectionately call Daddy-O. I don't think I've ever actually called you that, though.
No.
His name is Scott Thompson.
Hello.
And we're just going to talk about life. And
I have to do one thing first.
Okay.
Sweaty balls.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Okay.
That's true.
I'm done now.
Okay. Well, there's one question I want to ask you that I've always wanted to ask you, and that is, how do you feel having the same name as Carrot Top? Has it affected your life in any way?
Actually, he has the same name as me.
Oh,
I'm older than
he's
he
younger.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. He's kind of a scary looking
He
man.
is kind of a scary guy.
He took the name Carrot Top and turned himself into a carrot, I think.
Yeah. I think he does a little too many steroids, I would say.
It's got lip and face injections.
Yeah, well,
he still makes a lot of money, though.
Yeah, he does.
I hope he has a show in Vegas.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Flip phone.
Oh, I can't even think of one. I was going to pull something out of like a bag. Well, I guess we could talk about mental illness stuff.
We can.
What you got?
I got a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I know. I have general anxiety disorder. I have depression, and I have PTSD.
Me too. I always wondered what you had PTSD from. You don't have to go into detail or anything. But.
No, it's fine. I had my first panic attack when I was 12, and I had no idea what it was, and it lasted about 3.5 hours.
Ugh.
Yeah, and so I never knew what it was. Of course, we were smoking a little of the.
At 12?
At 12, yes.
Wow.
Well, I have older siblings that.
Yeah. Wow. It was a different time.
It was a different time. So 12 years old, that happened. And then over the course of time, you'd have more panic attacks and not know what they were. I was 36 years old. I'm 57 now. I was 36 years old when I was finally diagnosed with having panic attacks and stuff like that.
Was that after they took you away in the ambulance that one night?
Yes, that was after they took me away in the ambulance.
Did you feel like you were having like a heart attack, or did you not know?
I didn't know.
So you went that long without...
Yeah, so you not knowing what's wrong with you for that long of a period of time, that's where the PTSD comes from, because it's just very difficult to explain to anybody. I mean, nowadays, a kid says, well, I had a panic attack, and everybody knows what it is. And, back then,
That's
idea.
True.
No idea.
It was definitely a lot less diagnosable back then. Or they would just put you in a crazy house. Like before your time, that's what they would do to people that had like anxiety and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Put you in a crazy house.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was going there a couple times. So.
I know. When I started having panic attacks, it was kind of only... I think I've definitely had them before, but I only started recognizing what it was recently, and that's when I got on Prozac and everything. But I literally felt like I was going to die.
Yeah.
And you're just you're cycling these same thoughts over and over again, and it feels like it's never going to end. And you're like, can't.
And the funny part of the whole, not hysterical funny, but funny part is that it is over quickly.
Yeah.
When you think back on it, it was just, God, I felt like crap for 10, 12 minutes, and then I was fine, but then I was wiped out for the rest of the day.
Oh yeah,
or
I
whatever.
got so tired.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
was it like a daytime or nighttime thing, or like?
It all depended, actually, on how the cycles were going.
Yeah.
Especially before I started taking meds and stuff, it was So sometimes you dread the nighttime because that's when you had your last panic attack, or
Right.
And then
That was me.
yeah, and then after a little while, then you dread the daytime because when you were driving somewhere, I had big avoidance. What the heck's that called? Behaviors,
Yeah.
avoidance behaviors, and you'd be driving and have a panic attack and not drive that way again. Don't go to work that way again, because that's what happened there. And I thought when I was younger, before I was diagnosed with everything, I thought that, well, geez, it just keeps happening in the same spot, the same spot, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something magnetic with the earth.
Yeah.
And it does,
Trying to,
because you don't know that you have a chemical imbalance. You don't know that, there's a reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling. So you try and rationalize it any way you can.
that probably has a lot to do with the PTSD too. You're probably trying to think of what's triggering this all the time.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah. You're like, why is this happening?
Well, the thing I found that's the easiest to deal with all this is just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Think about something else.
That's what they want you to do.
That's a bunch of crap.
They say that and I know it works for some people, but it never worked for me, was like, if you read articles about like how to help somebody who's having a panic attack, and it's like, tell them to touch something that's near them and tell them to do this, but like your brain isn't thinking logically anyway. So it's not like, oh, I'm touching this. Oh no, I'm touching this and I'm still gonna die. Like,
yeah. Oh, good.
Like,
I can hold on to this while I die. That's
yeah,
nice.
exactly.
Excellent.
I went to the ER for one. That was really bad.
Yeah.
And they don't do that. I mean,
No, and they look at you like, I remember when they came to the house, when they took me away in the ambulance, and the lady says, "Well, what are you feeling? What are you feeling?" She says, "Your pulse is like 140 or something." She says, "What are you feeling?" I said, "I feel like I'm in a movie, but I'm in the movie out watching outwards."
yeah.
And she goes, "Wow, a lot of people would pay a lot of money for that." And I'm like, No.
Yeah, like you're
no.
on some sort of drugs, and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
whoa.
Ooh, I like it.
No.
I like it.
I remember when they put the thing to check my blood pressure, it hurt so bad because my heart was going so fast that it was like cutting off, and my hands like turning red, and the lady's just looking at me like pumping it up, and I'm like, ow, like it hurts. And then of course they put me in a bed in a hallway. I didn't even get a room. It cost me like $1,800.
Yeah.
For them, by the time they come around to me, I'm not having the panic attack anymore anyway.
Right.
So they just, it costs $700 to have a doctor walk over and be like, looks like you're having a panic attack. Those suck. Here's some, I'll get a nurse over here in an hour to get you some Xanax.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Doc. Thanks.
And it's kind of scary to think. Like, that's why I didn't really ever keep taking the Xanax, because like it does help a lot, but
that's something I wanted to talk about anyways, was the medication and stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I was the guy that you have a migraine headache and you don't take aspirin.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I don't
Yeah.
take anything. I don't do. And then once I started realizing that you take what's prescribed for you, it'll eventually work.
right.
Because now I started off on Zoloft, which was god awful.
Me too. That
drug.
was the first one that
And I took that for 2 years, and the only way I could take it was to take Xanax in the morning and Xanax at nighttime.
which is like, you probably could have just
Right.
taken Xanax.
Right. And I never saw that was from my general practitioner, and I never really saw a psychiatrist or whatever it is.
Right. They don't really know
prescribed.
what to do.
Yeah, well, I saw a psychologist once, and that was a waste of money.
Yeah.
For me, anyways. I mean, to me, I think a lot of the people that have these kind of disorders and stuff have a very strong mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely.
so it's
you kind of have to learn your own coping skills if you're not
exactly.
having any.
And then you sit down and they say, "Oh, meditate." Oh, no. Or the famous "don't think about it."
Yeah.
Think about something else. Think about trees and flowers.
My therapist would tell me, just give yourself 10 minutes a day to think about that one thing that's like causing it to happen. I'm like, No, that doesn't work.
It doesn't
And then I'm
work
just going to be
that way.
thinking all day about how I have only 10 minutes to think about it. Like, that's not going to work. She also told me she thought I was psychic, which I was like, I'm paying you money. I'm not a charlatan.
I see
Yeah.
a bike.
And I think it's funny because I think a lot of people that don't have mental illness or something like that, they don't realize the coping mechanisms that you do come up with.
Yeah.
And one of them is being very aware of your surroundings. So like if you have a bad feeling about something and then that thing happens, like that's not being psychic, that's just noticing
Right.
things
right.
around you that other people aren't noticing.
But there's that, and I just had a thought and I lost it. But
I'm sorry.
no, it's not your fault. I'm stupid. So. But this isn't what I was going to say, but I'll say this: that I don't really consider it a mental illness either.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, a mental illness is like a schizophrenia or.
That's kind of why I wanted to make my podcast called Creatively Ill, because I wanted it to like take back that word almost.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not like, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's not.
Yeah, because I mean, from all of the information that I've gotten about it, it's a chemical imbalance in your brain. And the nice thing is that you can pass it on to your kids.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Which I've done with all 4 of mine. So I'm sorry for that.
That's okay.
So
It's kind of why I don't want any.
Well.
Also, there's many more reasons why I don't want any.
That's yeah.
I'm fulfilled in this life without them, I think. So.
Exactly. Well, but you know, you that's another thing that's on me. That's such a just a kick in the butt. You know,
Like you feel like it's your fault.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know it is because it's because it's genetic. It's proven. It's genetic. It's hereditary.
And both of you have, especially for me and Heather, you and Mommy have. Well, Mommy has. We won't talk about that.
No, let's just go on. Let's. It's a beautiful dog you have.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a few of them.
Yeah, just 1 or 2.
But no, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't resent you for that, if that helps at all.
No, it does. Thank you.
I feel like I've become a good person.
I know you have.
So I think it takes all that.
True.
And the medicine.
And the medicine, and and going back to the medicine, a lot of people, like I said, I don't take medicine.
Oh yeah, stigmatize it.
But if you get a good psychiatrist or whoever the one is that gives you the drugs, I don't know which one it is.
I think, I don't.
A psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever. The drug guy.
The psychiatric guy.
We'll call him the drug guy.
Yeah, the drug peddler.
The drug peddler.
So my drug dealer tells me.
What the hell is wrong with you, sir? I just smoked some crack. But anyways, if you have a good drug doctor, they'll work with you on figuring out what's right and what's not right. Because I tried probably, I think at least 4 or 5 different medications before I found the one that I'm on now, which is
me too.
Prozac, which is the good old standby. I mean, that's been around since.
Which almost it's like, why didn't they just try that first? Like.
Well, because they don't get paid to try the one that doesn't have you can get a generic of. So I mean, it's like.
Remember they had that whole thing where like. They were like, Prozac's causing my teenager to shoot up schools or something. Like,
no, those kind of things are Adderall.
That's like a predisposition.
Yeah.
Also, and like
the fact that you locked him in a closet when he was a child with.
Maybe you're not listening to your kid when he comes home wearing goth clothes and not like goth kids or anything, but in the 90s that was a little different.
That was trench coat mafia.
Yeah, the trench coat mafia.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah.
But we digress. But we upgress. Take the medication.
I wish that
take the medication. Don't let anybody make you feel like you're crap because you're on medication. If you balance it properly, you're a normal. You can still have emotion. You can be angry. You can be happy. You can be sad. You can be whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started. I had the Zoloft and the Xanax in the morning, at night, and at nighttime, and I was a freaking zombie. I was I was non-existent, non-there. I was lucky that Mom never divorced me during that time because I was just a complete and utter mess.
Yeah, and you were in your room all the time.
Yeah, or fishing, or whatever.
Well, yeah,
anything.
It sucks.
But that's again, that's a. If the medication isn't working right, it can be more detrimental than it is helpful.
Right.
Because then you're still having these panic attacks, and you're having the anxiety and the depression while you're taking medication that's supposed to be stopping this, and it just makes it worse.
Right.
So for me, I would always I'd find stuff to do. So I would work. I was back then. I was working in the restaurants, so you'd work 10, 12 hours a day, come home, and then I'd find a project to do until I was just so utterly exhausted that I would just,
just keeping your mind occupied.
Yeah, you fall down and you go to sleep, and then you get up the next day, and if you slept at all, you do it again. But now with the I have a really nice. I think I have a very good balance of my medications now. I get up in the morning. Some days are, even with medication, you're going to have days where you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Because there's just no getting around it. Ooh, I swore.
Oh, you can swear. That's
no, censor it out. Censor it out.
No, you can swear. It's okay.
The censors are coming.
No, this is not a. This is not a syndicated thing or anything.
I forgot. Speaking of syndicated, new sponsors. No.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Marlboro.
I don't even think you can do that anymore. Can you?
I don't think you can. Not cigarettes, anyways.
Yeah, but vape.
Verizon. Oh, don't get me started on that. In the bathroom, taking a leak, and some guy walks up to you. I vape. Yeah. Good for you, pal. Good for you.
Good for you.
I vape. I'm trying to take a leak. Leave me alone.
They have to tell you. I was going to ask you something about all that. Oh, did you ever feel like it was lonely because Ma didn't understand?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that the longer I go with this, and we're Ma and I are we're good now. So and we can talk about pretty much everything, and we do. And this, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but this came up when her and I were talking, and with your sister Tatiana, Tate, whatever. Sorry, honey. Daddy's trying.
They'll be okay.
He's trying. But Ma said, he says, well, I described to her how I feel and whatever, and she says, oh, no, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I said, well, let me ask you this question. I said, when you're thinking in your head, how many voices do you hear? And she says, what? I said, how many voices do you hear in your head? She says, I don't hear any voices. She says, I see pictures and
oh my gosh, she's one of those people that doesn't think words or
right. So she sees pictures and she thinks pictures.
I always think of how lucky those people are.
Exactly. And she said, well, what about you? How many voices do you have in your head? I said, dominant voices, probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And there's 2 or 3 that just they're under there that are constantly working the whole time.
Yeah.
But you don't catch them until you flip them into the front of the thoughts. And Tati says, I think the same way. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It just seemed odd that she can't relate to any of what I'm telling her because that's the way her thought process is. I don't know. It's just strange. There needs to be studies. I will make studies.
Ma's she's like an innocent lady. I feel like she's an innocent, sweet lady who just doesn't get it, and she tries.
Well, it's like anybody, I think. If you have people that that aren't, those are the people that tell you, oh, don't think about it.
Right.
When you're having a panic attack.
Oh, I can't just not think about it.
Yeah, they don't get. How are we doing? We doing
I'm
all
just
right?
going to make sure that it's still going. Is that where it ends? I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on it.
We'll try again. It doesn't matter.
It's still going, but...
I think I can remember everything I said. So
all of it.
We'll say it all over again.
Just say it all. I just don't know if it ends right there. No, it doesn't.
No, it keeps going. Yeah, well, it's...
But yeah, because I feel like it's hard. I describe it as like standing in a room and you're just like yelling at walls, and like nobody is listening, or they can't understand. So you're just standing there in like this loony bin, like yelling at the walls, like, this sucks, I hate this, and nobody is listening or paying any attention. And it's like you want so badly for the people that don't understand to understand, but you can't expect them to.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I have too many thoughts in my head.
Oh yeah, those are the voices.
Yes.
The voices.
The voices are telling me to do things. Well,
I was going to say something about medication, but I don't remember. I know that like when I first started having like really bad panic attacks, I went to the general practitioner. They just threw like antipsychotics at me, like stuff like what was it? It started with an S. It basically was like a sleeping pill. It was just like, it just was like...
Seconal?
It was, no. Yes, exactly like that. You just take it and it knocks you out.
Yeah.
And like that doesn't help me at all. I wake up still feeling exactly the same. Worse even, because I wake up and I'm like, I feel like I haven't gotten enough sleep. I feel like crap. And then I'm like, whatever. And then...
That was me before, where you before I was diagnosed and you had a good day.
Yeah.
Then you say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do the exact same things that I did today, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then when that doesn't work out, it's like, oh, what the...
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. But I mean, even, as I said earlier, even now, there's days that I get up, today was one of them. Today was not a good day today for me. But, it's...
Did the weather have anything to do with that?
No, the weather doesn't have anything to do with it. It's hard to say what it can be. Just one little thing where you get out of bed in the morning and you move your head too quickly and you get a little dizzy, and then that's it. You're done for the day. Yeah. That's
what me, like I woke up at like 2 today, maybe later.
Well, that's nice.
but it was one of those things where I like wake up and I'm like, especially with the quarantine stuff, I'm like, I have nothing to do. And that like depresses me. So I'm like, I'll just go back to sleep. Like, what's the point? In my dreams, I'm having fun.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have crazy dreams.
That's one of the good side effects of the medication that I take, is that I have some pretty good dreams.
They're really vivid, and I remember them.
I don't remember mine. I remember mine for the first 3 minutes of being awake, and then after that, it's done.
I feel like my dreams are like interlaced with each other. Like I can have a dream tonight and be like, oh, I was at this place last week in my dream. Like it's so weird. Yeah. But I don't remember many details. I remember last night lots of details for some reason, but they were like meaningless. So
yeah.
I was on like a subway.
It's the old subway. Yeah,
it was for the subway.
It was very Freudian.
Jared Leto was there, and
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Leto? Oh.
I don't know.
Jay Leno was always in my dreams, so I don't know.
you got Jay Leno. Now that's what I'm going to dream about. Great. I was trying to tell Chris that I was trying to do like an impression. I do terrible impressions of people. Robert De Niro. Isn't this kind of a good Robert De Niro?
That is a good Robert.
What does he say? You talking to me? You
Oh, that was I was going to do that's Brando. I was thinking of Brando.
What is it? Oh, he does. Yeah.
Kavili, you come to me on this day of my daughter's wedding to ask me this favor.
That's a good one.
That's Al Pacino.
I know.
Hoo-wah! The one I always want to be able to do, and I can never do him, is Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah.
I love Christopher Walken.
I know. That's a hard one.
The only one I can do, there's a movie that he has where it's his final scene in the movie, and he's standing there with this other guy, and the other guy tells him, he says, all right, I've had enough of this. Put your hands up. And Walken goes, no.
No.
He said, what'd you say? I said, no.
That is good.
He says, why not? I don't want to. But I got a gun. I don't care. It doesn't make any sense. Too bad.
What movie is that?
I don't know. I saw it somewhere and I looked it up, just that one clip, just to, because I love Walken. He's.
Yeah, what's the one movie? He's like, is it Annie Hall?
Oh, I don't.
Was he in Annie Hall?
No, that was Woody Allen.
No,
well,
I
he
know,
might
but
have been in Woody.
But
he
there,
might have been.
It was a Woody Allen movie, whatever it was, and he's sitting on the bed with him, and he's really young, and he's like, talking about him going on a drive with him, and he's like, Christopher Walken is like, right before he said that, he talked about like this, how he's like, sometimes I just want to drive towards the headlights of a car, and like, and he's like, you want to go for a drive?
Sure.
And then they go, and the whole time Woody Allen's like,
oh, he's one of my favorites.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. I liked him from the Deer Hunter.
I don't know if I saw that one, but
that was a really good movie.
Is it an older one?
Yes. Yeah. That was a Vietnam type movie. But anyways.
I just like that it's like that nobody's ever asked him to change the way his like
he's like
diction is.
No, it's just how he is. It's how he is.
I need more cowbell. I love
Marty. I need more cowbell. Yeah. But he was there the night that. What the hell is her name? I can't remember her name.
He was there the night she what?
She died. Yeah.
On the boat?
On the boat, yeah. He was there with
I know who you're talking
Robert.
about. Redford?
No, Jr. Robert. I can't remember. Whatever. We can edit this part out.
No, we're gonna keep it in.
No, I
People
have
are
no
gonna
idea.
listen to this.
They're going to listen to this crap and they're going to say, "That's good crap."
Yeah, that's some good shit right there.
Robert, whatever. Not Joanne Woodward because that was Paul Newman's wife, but.
That's right, because she fell off the boat.
Yeah, she supposedly fell off the boat, and she had a deathly fear of water, and we're really digressing.
Yeah, but whatever.
Let's not digress. Okay, well, it is all part of the journey.
Because they were all in our dreams.
That's true.
Our Prozac dreams.
That's true.
I always try to talk to my other sister, Heather, about. Oh well, that's what I was gonna say, because that reminded me that like people don't realize that it might suck for the first couple of weeks of being on it. Like it might get worse before it gets better.
Exactly.
Because it does, but it sucks until it levels out, and then you're like, oh, I forgot about those past couple of weeks of it sucking because I feel good right now. Right.
Well, that's the whole thing, but you have to know when to draw the line of sucking that it's not working right for you.
Right. Yeah, that's a good.
And if it, I had tried some, I can't remember what the heck it was, but the doctor said, well, it's going to be great because it'll help you quit smoking too. And I can't remember what it was, but I took it for like 3 days.
Chantix or something?
No, not Chantix. Oh. I tried that, and that was like, never mind. But that's it. And then I tried crack. No. What was I saying?
Sorry. You said the doctor gave you.
Oh yes, tell me that it'll help you quit smoking too. And I took it for like 3 days, and I thought I was going to die. And I said, no, this one doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you can usually tell.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, and it doesn't have to be, the newest and best thing, because I know somebody who may watch this, so I won't say them, but they get the newest and best every other month, and it's, because it's for 14 pills, it's $1,500.
Yeah, so because they're getting paid.
Oh yeah, they're getting their kickbacks from the the pharmaceutical companies. So, why not just try, something that we know has worked for 30 or 40 years or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know.
I know they try. The pharmaceutical company's a whole other story. That.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about them.
Don't want to get too much into, because maybe they'll sponsor this sometime. I'm just
Exactly.
kidding. I do not want that.
Brought to you by Zoloft.
Yeah. And
Little blue. Good.
works. Does not work.
Does not.
I remember getting off of Zoloft was really hard for me.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I remember it made me almost like suicidal, like the worst I've ever felt ever.
It was almost as bad as trying to get off of Xanax. That was and that's the other thing now. I take something. I take the Prozac and I take Bisperone. I guess it's called I don't know what the hell. Busperone or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't know, some drug that I don't know what it does to me.
Yeah, and he just takes it.
Yeah, I just take it just for the heck of it. But it's a non-addictive drug. So, and that to me is worth gold.
That's like hydroxyzine. That's another one that it's more of it's like a Benadryl, but they somehow found out that it works for.
Yeah, I take something like that at nighttime for sleep.
Yeah, like makes you sleepy and.
Yeah.
Thank God for YouTube.
I don't do that anymore.
Really? What do you watch at night?
I don't watch anything.
Well, that's
really,
good. That probably actually helps your sleep a lot.
No, it doesn't. No.
Do you feel like that has anything to do with the chemical imbalance? Because I feel like I've always, ever since I was little, like an insomniac.
Well, you guys were horrible.
Couldn't
when you
sleep.
were little.
Yeah, I'm still like that. Yeah, I could stay awake till like 3 a.m.
I want to hear another peep out of you.
Well, you could take me you could take a drive with some French fries.
Yeah,
around the neighborhood.
That's true.
Because that apparently helped.
It does help a lot. It does help a lot.
I need to drive around.
Push her around in the stroller for a while. I don't know. I mean, I can sleep for 13 hours and still be tired.
Yeah, me too.
But I can sleep for 4 hours and feel great. So I don't think it's...
It's weird. Like, if I could choose, I'd rather sleep less. But I sleep... There's days that I just can't get out of bed, that I'll just sleep.
What do you attribute that to not having anything really to do? Or is it more to just...
It might be sometimes,
I don't want to get out of bed.
It might be. But I've been known to cancel plans and stuff just to stay in bed. I've been trying to get better at that, though. Because I just don't want my life to just pass me by and I'm not doing things.
And that's that's another thing that I find with all of this is that... well, everybody says time goes quicker. As the older you get, the quicker time goes.
Yeah.
And that's, good God, is that true? But I think, I don't know, what's the old saying? That if you're anxious, you're thinking about the future. If you're depressed, you're thinking about the past. And if you're calm, you're in the now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. But I think because we're always thinking about what's coming up next, that we have to be braced for, or whatever, that we're always living in the future. I've very rarely do I live in the moment. I think that's what which is hard. Yeah, I think it is too, and that's what I think. Even with my art and stuff, I'm always thinking of what am I going to do next? What am I going to do after this? Instead of just enjoying the thing that I just made. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's whatever, post it up, see who likes it, whatever. What am I doing next? Well, and then that's another bane of my existence is social media. But that's another 3-hour talk.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
other point that we'll talk about.
Yeah, maybe
badly we
Daddy
hate.
will be a regular on my show. You can come and we can just talk about stuff. I know people will probably like that.
Yeah. Well, I just hope that a little bit of insight that we can give helps anybody, with their problems and stuff.
Yeah, me too. That's my main.
I mean, I don't know. I think because of, sorry, dog.
Yeah, he's scared her.
Scared her. Because of all the stuff I've gone through, I'd make a really good therapist.
I think that too. That's why I feel like I like when I haven't done it lately, but like on Instagram and stuff when I do like those. Did you hear that?
That was weird. There was a ghost walking by.
It felt like it just like cut out. Did it? No. On Instagram when I would like post things and like just have people, because like it's not anonymous, like I can see who's posting to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, but they can't see, or like the people can't, so it like kind of helps like
to
have, like,
you're
when,
talking about the story line.
yeah, the
thing
story
on the top.
questions
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
and like when people are like telling me or asking me about like coping mechanisms and stuff like that, I don't know, it helps, and I think it helped me too to talk to people about it.
True, it does. But the thing people have to realize is that if you want coping mechanisms and stuff, you have to develop them yourself. Mm-hmm. Because what works for me, because I've been doing this for so long, would probably not work for you. But
Exactly.
you can give suggestions of, this is what I like to try. It might not work for you. You can
Yeah.
do a variation of it or do whatever.
And I am a big advocate for therapy and medication.
For me, therapy.
Well, the reason I say therapy is because therapy helped me figure out the medication I needed, I guess. It's kind of like...
Right. But that,
But otherwise, like, because I think I went so long and developed my own coping mechanisms and, like, I've already... I can be like, oh, I'm like this because this happened to me. That I know that already. Like, I didn't need the revelation of, like, a therapist to tell me that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's...
But some people do.
And how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Luckily, mine was really cool. She never asked me stuff like that.
Mine was like this 60-year-old lady that...
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was like a cool, like, almost like hippie lady. Like, she was cool. Yeah, she was really sweet. And
See, there's... I've talked with your siblings about this also, is that a lot of times it's a chemical imbalance, but there's something that triggers it. There's something that starts the whole ball of wax rolling. And when you can go back and you can figure that moment in time of where exactly it all started.
yeah.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be the first panic attack either or anything like that. It can be, what's the one thing that was that really started all of this?
Yeah.
And
Did you figure yours out?
Mine was actually, I remember like I told you before, the first panic attack I had was I was 12 years old. And
Smoking reefer.
Smoking reefer.
That could have been it, though. That's when my panic attack started. I smoked a bad batch of weed.
Yeah. Well, this was definitely a bad batch of weed. And I remember Vern Durfee was one of the guys that was there with us.
Vern, I hope you're not listening to this.
Yeah, he's probably dead by now. If he's not, if I find him, I'll kill him.
Oh my god.
We can edit that part out.
Nope. Staying in.
And he said, "Man, sounds like you got a bad trip." And I'm like, "Oh, you Jack Nicholson?"
Oh my god. Like Matthew McConaughey in that. Hold on, I want to take a break here for a second.
Take a break for a second. Can you stop?
Yeah, just stop.
Oh.
Okay, now we're back from our break.
We
And
took a break.
our technical difficulties. Oopsie, we've learned.
Testicle.
Our testicle difficulties.
Testicle difficulties.
We've learned. So what we were talking about was Vern then.
We're talking about my buddy Vern. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that I don't remember the context of what we were talking about.
Right.
So it's,
Oh, it was your first panic attack?
oh, the triggers. We were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
your first trigger and stuff like that, or what triggers it.
That's right, yeah.
And, but I can remember before that happened, there was times where I would be like riding in the car at nighttime or something, and you would just not feel right.
Yeah.
Hello.
She's doing a flip.
She's doing a flip. And, you know,
How would you describe that feeling?
like being on a movie screen watching
Yeah.
backwards.
To me, it's like it feels like an out of body experience.
Sort of, yeah.
Where you're
Yeah.
where you're just like you don't feel like it's real. I don't know if that makes any sense though, because
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
it
it
is,
does.
but it just like
yeah,
feels.
yeah, it doesn't feel.
I still feel like that sometimes. I'll be like walking and I'll just like start thinking about like how my legs are, and then I'll be like, "What's going on? These aren't my legs." I don't know what. It's so weird.
Can you look at yourself in the mirror?
Can I?
Yes.
I used to not be able to.
I still really don't.
I kind of have to put makeup on and stuff.
I have to shave.
Like it
but-
freaked you out?
Well, no, you just, after a while, you just, if you stand there and stare at yourself, it's kind of like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Who is that in the mirror?
Yeah.
You know it's you, but it's, you know, it's like hearing your voice, you know, in this context with hearing your voice through here, it just doesn't sound like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. It's just weird.
That used to give me like panicky thoughts looking in the mirror.
Well, exactly, because then it's like, you know, ooh, who are you?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But I don't know.
It was weird.
I've kind of gotten used to it, but still.
Yeah. That's one of the things that when I was having the really bad panic attacks was like triggering it, like just looking and then like looking through me. It was like weird. It's like looking at my eyes and then looking through my eyes. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to explain it.
That's
Just
pretty good right there.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
Thanks.
Welcome. What else she got?
I could put words together.
She says things.
I could put it together.
She says things and does things.
Well, I did want to ask you about when me and Heather were kidnapped, because I've never asked
Go
you
ahead.
that. What were you doing? That must have been a nightmare for you.
It was very difficult for me. The one thing that it's hard to explain that portion of my life, but I actually had while you guys were gone, of course, you have the tremendous worry of what's, you know, where are they? What are they doing? Are they safe? Are they not safe? But I also had the advantage of your mother not being there.
Right. Yeah.
So it took me. We had lived at your grandparents' house for I don't know how long. Like it was well over a year, at least over a year.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks after she took off with you, I had enough money to move out because it wasn't. I didn't have somebody coming to my work every Friday and telling me you know, I need all your paycheck, or I'm just going to leave the kids here, and you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Ugh,
So-
blackmail. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Yeah, that's a pretty good
conning.
Well, that's
Yeah.
another good word. But you know, I'm not going to. It's not a good thing, obviously, that you guys were gone and stuff. But it gave me the window of opportunity to actually start my life.
Yeah.
You know, move out of their place, get a place for us. You know, for us, if I can ever find where you guys are and whatever. And that was an interesting story of how I found that out. I was still living at Grammy and Grampy's house, and they were both at work one day, and the phone rang, and so I answered the phone. I said, hello, and they said, hi, is Mr. or Mrs. Lipinski home? I said, no. I said, they're both working. Oh, this is such and such from the Maryland Department of Social Services, and we're trying to look for somebody who can take the the twins, Heather and Jennifer. And I said, oh, well, I'd probably be a pretty good, person for that because I'm their dad. And they go, excuse me? I said, yeah, I'm their dad. Those are my kids. She goes, you're dead. I said, excuse me? Oh, no, your ex-wife your wife told us that you were dead. And that's what the girls told us. Oh, my God. And the girls told us that, too, that you were dead. I said, pretty sure I'm not.
Yeah, clearly not.
Clearly not. So that day, Uncle Bobby and I, because I didn't have a car, because your mother had the car, we drove to Maryland, which was a 12-and-a-half-hour drive. Very exciting.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst drive, honestly.
Picked you up at a shelter somewhere and brought you guys home. And from there, we never looked back. So
I had no idea that she, like, even if I was saying that you were dead, I don't remember. I mean, I blocked out a lot of that anyway.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Why? Well, there's no. That's a stupid
question. Well, because
if
you say, oh no, he's dead, and there's nobody else to take care of the kids except me, then I'm the one who's going to get the kids, and regardless of what I've done and whatever else. So. Yeah.
And I guess you could get away with the whole kidnapping thing if.
Well, it wasn't kidnapping. You went on a trip.
Yeah, we went on a trip, a really long trip.
Really long trip.
It wasn't fun.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Well, it was, well, I don't know. I mean, you guys were, when we got you back, when I got you back, you were okay. But you were difficult to deal with because you were 6, I think, right?
Yeah.
6, almost 7
when
I got you back. And up to that point, there had been no real cohesiveness. There was no family.
Right.
Up to the, till then. And I didn't know how to be a family. I mean, I had a pretty good idea, but we never had our own place longer than however long it took us to be evicted.
Right.
And it was just.
That's something I remember as a kid, just living a lot of different places.
Yeah, and it just, as a young adult, it was just so crushing and depressing.
Oh, yeah. And you were really young.
Yeah, I was 22 when you guys were born.
Yeah.
22, 23, something like that.
So you weren't even 30 then when we...
No.
Yeah.
No. And
I couldn't even imagine, like being in my 30s now, I just couldn't even imagine being that age and having a kid and like doing anything.
Well, if people are, some people say it's better to have your kids early and then, when you're still young enough to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that means, but
yeah, because you can't enjoy yourself when you have kids.
Well, we kind of, I mean, we have a 2-part family, really, where, we had you two guys, and then we had Tati and Ian, and I was in early 30s.
Yeah, because it's a 10 and 12 year difference.
Yeah, 10 and 12. So I was in my early 30s. And coincidentally, that's around the time that I just almost melted down. But isn't that I don't know what the trigger for that was.
Yeah,
maybe having 2 kids within 2 years, and
and having teenagers and
having teenagers that.
Well, I guess we weren't teenagers yet.
You might as well have been.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Well, that's like one thing though. Like, I feel like we didn't ever have a chance to be like kids.
That's yeah, and that.
Which is probably why we like lashed out a lot, and we were babies. I mean, like I remember like crying over everything.
Yeah.
If I didn't get my way, because that's like kind of what mommy taught us.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing was okay, Jenny, here's your drink. Here's your drink, Heather. She's got 3 drops more than me. They have to be exactly equal.
Yeah.
We're having ice cream. Get the scale out.
And that's Like, I feel like Ma tried to break that
Well,
a lot. When
she tried to break that, but it was the hard part is I was working ungodly hours with the restaurant business. She was not back to work yet, but you know, she was 30 something years old when we got married.
yeah.
Never had kids. You know, she'd been around kids, but she never had kids.
Right.
So, you know, I thought, you know, it was very unfair of me, what I put on her as responsibility wise, because.
Yeah, which is why she would like get to breaking point so easily.
Yeah.
Thing that I would never imagine seeing her do now. But
yeah, but for her, the breaking point came because a lot of it had to do with you guys, where your mother was still in the picture enough that you could just say, well, Mommy says that I don't have to do that.
oh yeah.
That sort of shit. And that broke her heart more than once with that kind of stuff. But
I can imagine.
yeah, but we digress. That's the past, and it's everything that's happened, every event has happened, has had to happen for us to be right where we are right now.
Yeah, which I think we're a happy family now.
I think so too. And
I mean, there might be some issues you're still dealing with a little bit, but
no, actually not. I'm well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But you know, it's just, I don't know. That's going back to the mental health part of all of this. That's what a lot of people don't realize too, is that, you know, they say, oh geez, if I could just go back and not have that relationship with Billy Bob,
yeah,
who was mentally and physically abusive to me, then God, my life would be just so fantastic. But Billy Bob is in your life to get you to where you are now.
right.
So everything, no matter what, you know, you go back. I think to myself, Jesus, if I was smart enough, I would have stayed in Nebraska, not come back, not got married, but then I wouldn't have you guys.
Right.
And having you guys led to down the road of where we finally ended up being where we could be a family, and then Ma came along. And, you know, and that was, I think I was dating her while you were still gone, but that's besides the point.
I think you started her dating her when Mommy was in prison.
Yeah.
And we were maybe at
No, you were with me.
Uncle Keith's.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Because we went there for like a summer. And then,
Yeah. But I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah, every point
leads to where you are now.
I mean, there's no way, you can't go back in time and change anything, so don't dwell on that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially with mental health issues, do too much of that and then miss out on anything that can be good by recognizing the problems or whatever it is that are making them feel that way. And I feel like once you do recognize that, then you can be like, you know what? What's like something small that I can do today that like pushes me away from that and makes it better for going this way, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. And a lot of times you have to surround yourself with people that, they don't have to be like-minded as you, but just people that are good.
Yeah, people that make you feel good when you hang out with them.
Yeah.
You're not leaving them and being like, oh, that stupid slut. Like, why do I even hang out with her?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, that's...
I agree with that.
Why do you?
Why do I what?
Why do you hang out with that stupid slut?
I don't.
Okay.
That's one good thing that I've focused on the past couple of years, especially after buying my house and like moving out of the area that I was living in, was just like cutting off everybody that sucked. And it was easy. It's easy for me to do that.
Yeah. Well,
Be like, no, thanks.
No.
I love all my friends now. I can't say a bad thing about them, and I feel like
don't have
that's
any.
a good sign. Well, I don't have any best friends. You
I
don't
have
have
like
any?
I
What about,
have like 3 friends.
you don't got Jimmy anymore?
Yeah, I talked to Jimmy,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's
Martin.
who's in Florida, and
Is he going to live in Florida or is he going to move to North Carolina? Or does he just have property? Doesn't he have property in North
he
Carolina?
might be heading back.
Up here?
No, there overseas.
Oh.
But that's another thing that we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
No, we don't need to talk about it. What else you gonna ask me? You wanted to ask me about that thing, and I kicked the mic again.
That's okay. As long as it doesn't fall over.
Yeah, it's all right.
What thing?
You asked me about what happened while you were gone,
Yeah.
and I told you. What
well,
else?
Well, that was it.
That's all you want to know?
Because I never knew that.
Oh,
I never knew what happened or
you got
what.
a tattoo.
You did get the tattoo. You got your ears pierced a bunch of times.
That was before that.
Oh, you had a lot.
Yeah. I had
How
three.
many?
3.
Why do I remember like all the way up?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I do remember the tattoo. And then we got tattooed together,
Yes, we did.
which is
But my
fun.
tattoo, that's covered up because I've covered up that part of my life that I no longer want to deal with.
That's right.
So I
Yeah,
gotta
that's
cover
nice.
it.
That's symbolic. I never really
It
thought
is.
of that.
Well, I actually, I have 4 tattoos and they each mean something.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the cross has my name on it.
well, yes, of course.
My name's first.
Of course. It's all fading out though. I gotta find somebody to,
Go to my new guy,
all right, I'll go to you.
Rat Killer 3000.
Rat Killer 3000.
Rat Killer 3000 on Instagram.
On Instagram.
That's Andrew Green.
Andrew Green.
He's awesome.
He's a new sponsor.
Yeah. I forgot the name of his tattoo parlor, but that's all right. I don't think he wants anybody to know anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I feel like we covered everything I wanted to ask. I feel like anything you want to ask me?
There are questions that I want to ask you about when you were gone and stuff, but I also don't want the answer to half of the questions that I have.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Like it's to have the
Well,
lots of car accidents.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I own a telephone pole or a light pole on Route 95 because of that.
Oh my god.
No, there's just a lot of things that, that,
Well, ask one.
no.
None of them. Okay.
No, because, well, part of the whole 12-step crap is that you ask people for your forgiveness.
Right.
So that was asked of me. Forgiveness was asked of me.
From my mother.
Yes. And I said, well,
She's never asked me that.
she says, well,
I don't think you should have to.
well, no, because, we talked for a long period of time, and she said, and then she said, well, 12 steps is ask for forgiveness. And I said, well, I don't know if I can do that. Well, you have to admit it was part of your fault, too.
What?
Yeah. And I said, okay, I forgive you. Goodbye.
Yeah, you don't even want to hear it. Like what?
Yeah.
How could she say that?
I don't know. And I got
That's
the
so
same thing
shitty.
from other family members, the same sort of thing.
Those ones? On that side?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
And it's,
There's no talking to those people though.
Yeah, but I mean, they're good people.
Yeah.
And they're still, I consider them my family to this day.
I do too. Obviously.
Well, yeah.
I love them.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to have a separation.
I pick
point.
which ones.
Exactly. But, there are a lot of, you can sit and think of all these different scenarios in your head about, what's going on and where they are and what's doing. And, I always, I said, yes, I forgive you just to make it go away.
Yeah.
And, I never considered somebody with a raging heroin problem that it was partially my fault, And, when I learned a few of the things that had happened to you guys, no, I can't say on recordable TV, but
bomb in a trunk plan coming up in mind?
No, more like a Jimmy Hoffa sort of thing. And
Gotta disappear you.
And then, that's why I don't want to. I've gone past that part of my life where.
Oh.
Bank of America, your statement is available. Bank of America. New sponsors.
Bank with them.
Bank with them. Well, anyways, I don't know. I digress.
Yeah, you just don't.
So yeah, I put all that stuff behind me. I mean, people can say, "Oh, I put all that behind me." Oh, yeah, I've dealt with that. It's all fine. You still think about it,
right?
You still have that. It just.
You can't help it. It's
But
nature.
if I asked you the questions that I want to ask you, and you gave me the answers that I think that you would give me, I would
be mad all over again.
Yeah, and I'd probably Jimmy Hoffa somebody.
Yeah,
so
we don't have to.
We don't have to do that, and it's I have to. I don't know. I guess I have to apologize to you for not being. Thank you. Being grown up and responsible enough just to stop all of this before it even got to this point.
Oh, like take us away from her or something?
Yeah.
That's okay.
But the problem was, I'm a people pleaser, so it's.
You're a Libra.
I'm a Libra. My favorite color is blue. I like long walks on the beach. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Well, Chris is a Libra. He's also a people pleaser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just,
that's
kind
true.
of a thing.
Yeah, and you don't want confrontation. I'm not very good with confrontation. I am. I'm really a lot better with it now than I was before. But you just let it go.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that really bothers me, that I was never had the cojones to step up and do something.
That's okay. Well, you're also struggling with stuff on your own too.
Yeah.
So that's a tough thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're young.
That's
When I was 20, whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know what I would do in that situation, but part of me would probably be like, no kids. So.
I don't know. Some people can do them. Some people can't. It's just. I don't know.
I hate when people are like, "Oh, you'll change your mind." I haven't changed my mind ever. Never, ever.
No.
You don't have to have kids, and that's the point of this.
That's
everybody.
the whole point of this.
The whole point of all of this is don't have kids if you don't want to have kids.
Take antipsychotic drugs and don't have kids. Have a dog.
Or 4. I wish they could see them.
Yeah.
They're adorable.
They are adorbs.
They'll be on it sometime.
They will.
I'll get them little headphones so they can just. That would be so cute. I don't know. I think that was good. I don't think that.
You think that was good?
Yeah.
That was enough?
I think that I would like to have you on again.
I'd love to come back.
We can talk. Maybe even add another person in. We can talk.
No.
What if it was a celebrity? Your favorite celebrity got to be on, and Christopher Walken's here.
I don't think I'd want to be interviewed with Christopher Walken because he's too. I don't know. He's too much.
Yeah, he is a lot.
He is a lot.
Well, he's a little older now. Maybe it won't be as much.
No.
No.
No. I think he's. Yeah. I don't know.
I wish I was a guy sometimes, so I would be really good at impressions like that. I say that all the time.
I don't know.
How
There's
dare
girl
you not?
impressions.
That's the only thing I regret about
true.
you.
Is that I didn't
You didn't make me a
girl.
man, and I want to be a man to do impressions.
Well.
Instead, I just have all my friends be like, "You're funny for a girl."
Yeah, you're pretty.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's another podcast. Women aren't funny, anyways.
Yeah, women aren't funny.
Women aren't funny.
Just get them off the air.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I think that was good.
Think that was good?
Thanks, Daddy.
Hey, you're welcome, Pitty.
We'll
Anytime.
We'll definitely do it again sometime.
Okay. I'll come back with more of my I'll bring some friends with me.
New sponsors?
Not new sponsors. Well,
Oh.
Marlboro. Good. 4 out of 5 doctors smoke Marlboro. I saw a commercial like that. It was from the 50s.
And they really said that?
Yeah, it was, what cigarettes do most doctors smoke? Camel no filters. Oh my God. 4 out of 5 doctors smoke Camel no filters.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Okay.
All right. But I'll bring some impressions with me next time.
Yes, that's what I want. Some good
Okay.
impressions. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Till next time.
Till next time, Chris is going to shut it off now.
Yeah, one of these days I'll come up with an end tag, but right now
Yeah.
I don't have one. So until then, peace out, my love bugs.
That's victory. That's peace.
Oh.